What a start for the Denver Broncos. I mean, I think it's the only thing to talk about. But I also am like super excited to talk about what they look like Friday night. Incredible. Just absolutely dominant. And we'll talk about what that means for the season. Yes, it's a preseason game, but man, crazy. Which running back stood out to you? Well, you saw mostly Coleman, and we can switch to this now. This was the takeaway on NFL.com. Just published. There you go. Chad Reuter is the guy who wrote this for NFL Network. So which running back stood out? Jonah Coleman, and here's what they said about him. Jonah Coleman reads block. Wow. Let me restart. Jonah Coleman read blocks well early on against the Falcons on Friday, making a nice cut off solid effort by tight end Evan Ingram for a 9-yard gain that was ultimately called back due to a holding penalty elsewhere. Finishing the night off with 24 yards on 4 carries, the fourth-round pick's most impressive run came towards the end of the first quarter when he stuttered behind the line, burst through a crease, spun off 1 tackle, and carried 2 defenders for extra yards. He snared a high throw in the flat on his only reception, which was nullified by penalty, but could not escape the open field tackle. Coleman did whiff on a block on his first pass pro rep, allowing Atlanta nickel Sidney Brown to pressure the quarterback, but the rookie stymied pass rushers with physicality on the following 2 plays. I'm a big Jaleel McLaughlin fan. Like I like him a lot. I like how he runs. I like his attitude. I always felt like he should get more touches, and then the regular season rolls around and he never gets them. He never gets touches. So, what do I think about the running backs? I think it's overall positive. You want, obviously, Dobbins being your main guy come week 1. But if you got to spread touches around other places. RJ Harvey I've never been a huge fan of, but he looks solid. And then Coleman, and you got to find ways to rotate those guys in and get them touches. That way, if RJ Harvey goes, or if J.K. Dobbins goes down, Harvey and Coleman have touched the field and are ready to go. I don't know. I'm not. Here's what I will tell you. Coleman looked like an NFL back. He had the ability to read blocks. It felt like an NFL level player when he was in there. The burst, the ability to read it, the patience behind the line, hitting the hole when he needed to hit the hole. I thought he looked good. And, what is that worth in a preseason game? That I'll leave that up to you, but it's his first NFL action, so it's worth at least talking about. Running backs you can find anywhere, man. I don't care. He's a 4th-round pick. That doesn't matter to me. I think he's got a future ahead of him. I'm not a big RJ Harvey fan. If Coleman ends up stealing reps away from him throughout the season, then fine. And then David's last question here. Is the Broncos D going to be the number 1 D better than Houston? Man, they looked great. And I don't know if that was partially because of a poor Atlanta Falcons team or because they're really that good, but the defense just looked terrific. Let's go to this Mile High Report article here, written by Sadarine, milehighreport.com. We can skip down to defense and then come back to offense. But, they say here, and this is how I felt too, Vance Joseph defense picked up where they left off last season with a smothering display. It felt like they were in midseason form. Now, they bring back a lot of their same guys. So that's the lack of turnover is a big deal. They have the past couple of years. They've got the same coordinator, obviously Vance Joseph, and the talent is much the same across the board. And it's not like they're bringing back guys who are, that was average defense or something like that. They're bringing back guys who were playing at Pro Bowl and all pro levels. And yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be the best defense in the league. I don't see where they regress. They're not lacking anywhere. I mean, the biggest question mark is linebacker, but I think they've got okay pieces there. So let's see what they said in the breakdown. Here's this. I'm super excited about this. Buffalo guy, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft, Red Murdoch. I liked him at Buffalo. I was hoping he was going to go undrafted, and the Bills picked him up. Glad he got drafted for him. He led the team with 8 tackles on the day. And, according to Mile High Report, looked like a savvy inside linebacker who understands where he needs to be in the right angles to take towards ball carriers. That is feels like a small statement, but the fact that he was able to adjust to NFL speed like that, where he's still in the right spot and still taking the right angles, despite playing at not the highest level of college football, I think it just speaks to his talent and, how his brain works, which is awesome. I think he's going to factor into those linebacker snaps through the year, even in regular spots, not just as a backup. So excited about him. The front seven was just suffocating. The defense, I mean, they were all the secondary. I mean, was all over the place. Jahdae Barron, the one pick was, a tipped pass, but I mean, he was all over the place. Riley Moss had a pick. He only had 13 snaps in the game. I did notice JL Skinner a couple times, so maybe he made even more plays than I thought he did. But yeah, I mean, Barron did drop a pick that was like right into his chest, but that's because he was playing well. And then, yeah, so one thing I was going to say, and you said it for me, David, was the Houston offense, or Houston defense is going to get tired, man. Their offense is so bad. And I shouldn't say that. Their offense isn't bad. Their quarterback is bad. And C.J. Stroud has to prove to me that he can get back to what he was his first couple of years in the league, because last year was a disaster. Now, his offensive line was really bad. So I say all that to say, I feel like that Houston defense is going to be on the field a lot, needing stops. And the Broncos defense, I think, is going to be sitting on the sideline with a cup of Gatorade while Davis Webb calls plays and sends them down the field. So overall, I think it's easy thing to say. I feel like kind of a cop-out because I'm picking a well-established defense and a team that won 14 games last year and saying, oh, well, I think it's going to be the best defense in football. But I do. I mean, I see nothing that is going to slow them down. And on the offensive side of the ball, I again, preseason game, but Webb's play calling I thought was awesome. So, and you've got a wizard, which, by the way, how bored did Sean Payton look on the sideline? Oh my God. They showed a couple camera shots of him, and I was just like, the man doesn't know what to do with himself. Not that he wasn't paying attention or anything like that, but it felt like he was bored. It felt like he did not know what to do, which is hilarious. But I imagine, after 20 years of being on the sidelines and play calling, that it feels like a big nothing burger with a whole lot of nothing to do. Otherwise, when you give that up, so. I thought Stidham looked good. There had been some talk about if Ellinger could push him for the backup quarterback job. I don't think that's a thing. In fact, I don't know how much Stiddy plays in the last 2 games, You might just give all those reps to Ellinger and say that, Nix and Stidham are your 2 guys, but he's only a backup quarterback. I mean, we'll see. But God, man, you thought to yourself if he could have executed like that in the AFC Championship game versus what was a putrid effort from the New England Patriots. Don't tell me how good their defense is. I don't want to hear it. If he could have executed like that in the championship game, they might have been in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So I thought he looked real good. What was his stat line here? QBR of 110.7, 9 out of 15 for 131 yards and a touchdown. He looked great. He really did look good. We do need to talk about the center spot. Wattenberg and Forsyth both didn't play. And so Throckmorton was the center, and that's not his position. But I thought the O-line still looked good. I thought the run game looked good. So nice to know that he has that versatility positionally. But you got to get your centers healthy. You got to get your starting offensive line up and ready to go by the time the year starts. So I thought they looked okay overall. I mean, I didn't see any problems with it. I didn't do a deep dive or anything, but let's see. Here's the RJ Harvey report, and nobody else has had one yet, so let's see what Mile High Report had to say. Several runs early with mixed success. He had 5 rushes for 16 yards. A rather ho-hum affair, even for the preseason. He didn't see any targets in the passing game, which is where he really shines for the Broncos. I feel like this was the team giving him reps in the run game to keep development efforts moving forward. I don't know. He's just uninspiring to me. I'm sorry. You watched Coleman and you felt like that's an NFL back. You know what I mean? But when Harvey's out there, it's just ho-hum is a good way to describe it. He doesn't inspire anything inside of me in terms of playmaking ability or anything like that. So, I don't need him. But we'll see how it plays out the rest of the preseason. And then, see, this feels like such a shot, but the kid is good, man. Per usual, Jaleel McLaughlin plays well in the preseason. He had a nice first run of the day, spinning and churning a big gain. He got an easy touchdown off a check down pass inside the 10. On the downside, he coughed up a fumble with poor ball discipline. Yeah, that was a bummer. Leaping for an unnecessary yard after he had already gotten the necessary yardage on a third down play. This led to the only scoring drive of the game for the Falcons as the turnover happened on the Denver 17-yard line. He also hobbled off at one point with a leg injury, but then came back afterwards. I don't know, man. I just don't think he gets enough credit for the explosiveness that he offers that offense. And they've found ways to manufacture it, for a long time. For a couple of years here, that's why we've talked about Mims. He offers explosiveness in the return game. Can he offer it to the offense as well? Deep shots, you often see them to Mims. And I think they tried to put Jaleel in those positions a few times over the past couple of years with like screen passes and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, I just like him as a utility back. If you were to tell me that they were to go into the season with Dobbins, Coleman, and McLaughlin as their three main backs, I'd be fine with it. So, but I don't think I'm not saying that they're going to, because I don't think that they want to trade RJ Harvey or anybody, given that matter, with the situation that they've had with Dobbins over the past couple of years. So, I didn't see a lot of Cody Schrader. I'm not going to lie to you. But, I mean, I was watching the game when he was out there, but I let's put it this way, I didn't notice him. Yeah, I mean, I saw the Sutton catches. Sutton and Bryant are going to make you feel good. You want to add Waddle into that mix. You know, I think they got a good group of wide receivers. I think I want to count Evan Ingram with that group more than I do with as a tight end. So, you know, if your five skill position players are Waddle, Sutton, Bryant, Ingram, and Coleman or Dobbins, those are good weapons you got out there, you know? So, I just, listen, man, this team came out and, in my opinion, was dominant. And I don't know that you've seen that even as the team has been good in the past couple of years. Like, there's a different feel when there's a team that's a contender that walks out on that field. And it's just like handling business, churning. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Because, like, it's preseason, right? Like, somebody can come out and dominate another team, but you can feel like, yeah, man, we won. It's not the same. This Bronco team came out like they were world beaters, and this was just, let's turn the machine back on and churn out a couple touchdowns here and get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I was really impressed on Saturday with the Broncos, Friday with the Broncos. So, you know, for me, here are the things that are going to matter going forward. Can you stay healthy? You lose LaVale Bailey. That's tough. I don't think you have great depth at linebacker. I like Red Murdoch a lot. I've always liked Drew Sanders. I don't think he figures into the middle as much, but that's where they have him listed. You know, do they have enough at linebacker is going to be a question all year long. But can they stay healthy? I think they go maybe try to sign one more guy at linebacker with Bailey going down. And I don't think it's just the camp body. I think they try to get somebody who they think can push the young guys and make them earn their spots. So I would be looking for a late linebacker addition in camp here. So, but yeah, I mean, so for the Broncos, for me, it's can they stay healthy is number one. I am a big Davis Webb fan. I liked him back when he was a backup quarterback. People always said that he was going to get to this spot just with his personality and the way his mind works, which is awesome that he's here now. So it's a well-balanced attack on game one, preseason game one. You know what I mean? He needs to make sure that he's got stuff up his sleeve to keep confusing defenses as he gets through the season. I think Sean Payton will help him with that. But the things that he likes to do, his tendencies, are going to eventually be found out. And after 4 or 5 games, he's going to have to really adapt. Not saying that he can't do that, but it's the plight of a young play caller. So, I hope he keeps it well balanced. I hope he runs the ball. I hope that Sean Payton can help him not become too predictable